Hi there, and welcome to the first episode of the Sherwood Fiber Arts podcast. Thank you so much for giving my brand new little podcast a try. I hope to keep going and make this a twice-a-month podcast, all about knitting, crochet, spinning, whatever other crafty things I manage to get myself into. It is... Let me check my calendar. It is Sunday, August 16th, 2020. It is about 7:30 p.m. So this will probably not go up until tomorrow. But I like filming in the evenings because that's when I'm most awake, really. And the world's a little quieter and the neighbors aren't going to work. And the landscapers aren't by making the dog bark at them. Anyway, my name is Maddie. I am the dyer and fiber artist behind Sherwood Fiber Arts. I am non-binary and my pronouns are they and them. I am coming to you from Central Alabama, where it is still rather warm. It was about 92 today, I believe. And we're not going to get any relief from those temperatures for about a week when another storm front comes through and it's down to a very chilly 88. I live here with my aunt and her dog Charlie and her cat Juno, and I have a pet mouse named Badger and other side. This, you can't see him because he's very small, but that is my pet praying mantis. His name is Boogie. When I'm not knitting, crocheting, spinning, I am usually gardening or playing Dungeons and Dragons, or sometimes when I have time. I don't have a whole lot of that right now. I will play some World of Warcraft. You can find me on several social media places: Facebook, Instagram. I have a brand new Twitter, and Etsy. You will find all of my links, as well as links to everything that I talk about today in the show notes down below. Have another sip of tea. I wanted to share this tea with you all because it has quickly become my favorite. This is the caramel and peach with coconut tea from Black Mama Teas. I will put their shop link down below as well. It's very, very good. It's sweet on its own, but I like to add some brown sugar and some cream to it. They also have quite a few other things. They have flavored agave, simple syrups, CBD. They even have vodka for those of us into vodka. All right, let's get into some knitting content. I think I'm going to start off with my one and only, well, it's two pieces, but it counts as one finished object, right, if it's socks. These are my Rye Light socks by Tin Can Knits. They've been worn once or twice, so they need to be washed and reblocked, but I really enjoyed this pattern. It's very simple. It has a garter stitch panel down the front and just a simple heel flap and gusset. I knit these out of some chain plied handspun that I spun on my electric eel wheel Nano. The fiber was from Wound Up Fiber Arts. That's Trisha, and it was her 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon super sock base. I don't remember the colorway name, but I chain plied it and I got these really long color repeats, and it's all neutral tones, browns and grays, and usually I'm very much more of a jewel tone person. You can get a good idea of my color sense by the background behind me. This is my stash and also everything that's currently in the shop. I knit these on my Knitter's Pride Carbons 2.25 millimeter DPNs. I knit almost all of my socks on DPNs. I have tried Magic Loop. I'm trying it again, but I much prefer my old-fashioned DPNs. These were 72 stitches. I wear a US women's size 10 to 11 depending on how wide the shoe is, so I tend to make larger socks. Alright, and that is my one and only finished object. Pair of finished objects. Alright, now I have some hose. I have several hose. Hoe number one is the Rose City Rollers by Mara Catherine Briner. I've knit 2 or 3 pairs of these. This one is out of yarn from Brickhouse Fiber Arts, which is a small yarn dyer, project bag maker, and knitting needle manufacturer. It's fairly local to me. Sorry, I'm looking down. I have my notes on my lap. Yeah, it was a 100% merino yarn that was like a heavy fingering weight to sport weight yarn. So I did 64 stitches on a 2.5 millimeter needle for these. And I used am using my Knit Picks wooden DPNs, which they don't match. I believe the dark ones are the Mystic color, and these are the Sunstruck. I used to have a full set of Mystics, but then one Halloween I decided to take my knitting to a Halloween party, and sometime in that kind of chaotic, slightly inebriated night, someone, it may have even been me, either stepped or sat on my knitting and broke 2 of my needles. So luckily the wooden needles from Knit Picks come in sets of 6, so I had extras. This is how far I've gotten on the second one. I've started my heel flap, which is a simple slip stitch heel flap, and I have a little progress keeper. Don't know if you can see him very well, but that is an octopus that I got from Scarlet Stitchcraft on Etsy. And her link will be down below too. Fiona was very nice to talk to. I had to message her because my first package got lost in the mail somewhere between the UK and here. So she sent out replacements and they got here very promptly. So I now have cute little stitch markers. Okay, this is in a dragon project bag, my red dragon project bag from Bags by KC. I have this one and I have a blue one, which I will show you in a moment. And inside matches as well. I really love my dragon project bags. Right, hoe number 2 is, this one was just finished yesterday. So this is just a 72 stitch vanilla sock, and the yarn is from To the Max Yarn Co. It's their Sunset Boulevard Sparkle Sock Set. Here's the heel. I just did a simple 1x1 rib, afterthought heel, regular wedge toe. I do my wedge toes in a way that's a little bit more rounded. I think I picked that up from the Rose City Rollers. But yeah, these are on my metal knit picks needles, which I have not broken. That would be quite a feat. And I've been using this Progress Keeper from, let me double check. Yeah, Zany Crafts, who is Suzanne. It's a little felted sushi stitch marker. I also have matching earrings because I'm a recent sushi convert and I may have gotten a little sushi nuts. Which is fine, you know. Do what makes you happy. Sometimes that's ordering overpriced sushi. And this is in a bag that I sewed last year from some vintage quilter's cotton and just some like acrylic yarn braided ties. I was very proud of this because I got the box bottom seams to line up with the side seams. Right, and number 3. I knit a lot of socks. You may be able to tell. I tend to dye a lot of sock yarn. Spin a lot of sock yarn. I have technically crocheted a sock, but the texture was not something that I enjoyed, so I'll stick to knitting. These are the Stegona socks by Melina Hami. I'm not sure. She's French. And I am from Alabama. I did a 1x1 twisted rib cuff, 1 repeat of the eyelet pattern, and then a slip stitch heel flap and a contrast toe. I dyed both of these yarns. I can try to replicate these, but these were back when I was dyeing yarn with Wilton's food coloring as a dye, and now I use Dharma acid dyes. So the colors are very different. But I had to modify the chart a bit because the Stegona socks are only written for it was either 60 or 64 stitch sock, and the friend that I am knitting these for has the same size feet as me, so I wanted to use a 72 stitch sock, and it's just this very simple, very pretty, very potato chippy eyelet pattern down the front of the sock. I'm not usually a pastels person, but I really, really love the blue and pink speckles and the light blue of the contrast color. And this is how far I've gotten on the second sock. Today I finished the second half of the heel flap, did the heel turn, and have now just started on the gusset decreases. Again, I'm knitting these on my my Knitter's Pride Carbons in the 2.25 millimeter size. These have quickly become my favorite knitting needles. They're lightweight and grippy like wood or bamboo, but they don't flex as much, and I'm not as afraid of breaking them. Not just by going to a slightly drinky Halloween party, but also because I tend to knit very tightly and I have a bit of a death grip on my needles. But they're not as slippery or as heavy or as slick. Slippery and slick are the same thing, but they're not as slippery or heavy as metal needles, but they do have the metal tips so that it's easier to get into your stitches when you're doing things like eyelets or cables, which we'll talk about cables later. Oh, I wanted to show you the stitch marker on these. This is another one from Scarlet Stitchcraft. It's a little succulent. I think this one's probably my favorite of the stitch markers that I got. I also got a squirrel, but it hasn't found a project to attach itself to yet. And this is my blue dragon bag. Again, by Bags by KC. The matching interior fabric. One of the things that I like about these is that she uses a black cotton twill tape, or it's black on at least the ones that I have. I really like that. Next page. Just dropped a sock. I have another hoe, but that is part of an announcement for later. So I do have a crochet whip in my whale bag from Brickhouse Fiber Arts. A bunch of happy little whales. The blue ones kind of match my hair. This is my, I believe, 4th virus shawl. I really love this pattern. It's simple to memorize. You can find video tutorials on YouTube. But this is crocheted out of some handspun singles in purple, pink, tan, brown, and blue. I don't remember the dyer, sadly, and I don't quite remember the fiber. I think it's superwash merino. But I am crocheting this with a 3.75 millimeter hook. I think I got this one at Hobby Lobby. And the stitch marker I have on here is a little jingle bell that I painted with nail polish, and I used to sell these as like cat bells in middle school, back when I owned a pet treat bakery. Oh, that would have been high school, yeah. Anyway, when I was a younger child. But yeah, I'm just going to keep going with this until I run out of yarn, which shouldn't be too long. I think the last work in progress that is not part of an announcement is a spinning project. I'm spinning this on my electric eel wheel nano, and this is some superwash merino fiber in the colorway Love Letters from Slothy Creations. That's Lindsay. Lindsay's a very nice human that dyes really beautiful colorways. This one is like pink and white and mauve and navy blue. It's very soft and squishy. And since the nano is so small, I can just hold it up and show you without taking it off of, or taking the bobbin off. This is what the singles look like. I'm only halfway done. Well, halfway minus this little nugget. This is the first of a 2-ply. I'm aiming for about a worsted weight-ish. I'm not putting much effort into keeping it super consistent. Because after Tour de Fleece, I needed a break from super consistent sock yarn. So I wanted to kind of give my spinning brain a rest. Yes, this is my electric eel wheel nano. Her name is Pixel. And this is the bag that Pixel lives in when she's not being worked on. It's just a padded, insulated lunch tote from Amazon. It's got a bunch of pins. Got my Shave 'em to Save 'em pin, Jack Skellington, gay cat, some more gay stuff, a narwhal, I heart knitting, and I heart crochet. Alright, I believe that is all of the stuff that I've been working on lately. I'm drinking my tea out of this Red Nose Day mug. Excuse the lipstick on it. Okay, I've got some stash enhancement to show you guys. If that is not your thing, I completely understand. I will put timestamps in the show notes, and I will try to put them on the screen. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not entirely sure the limits of my editing capabilities. Okay, I got a umbrella swift and a ball winder on Amazon. I will leave links to those in the description as well, but I can't really turn you over there to see them because that part of the room is a little messy and also contains my mouse cage, which needs a good cleaning. What I can show you is this really cute bag from Fringe Supply Company. They are sadly going out of business, so I grabbed this in their clearance sale. It's one of their stash bags, which are made from offcuts and miscuts of the fabrics that they use to make their field bags. This one is in the color olive drab, and it's got these like cotton cord drawstring. Yeah, I really like this bag. I just got it yesterday along with 2 pairs of the Licca driftwood needles. I got the 2.5 US 2.5 or 3mm needle in 47" and a 2.25mm in 60", which I thought would be useful for magic loop if I ever get the courage to try 2 at a time. We will see. Let's see. Oh, I also have, let's see if I can reach it, some yarn stash enhancement. This is the only yarn that I've bought in a little while. And this is the Hedge Witch colorway from Desert Panda Fiber Arts. That's Kristen. This is the 80-20 sock base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 80 yards, or not 80 yards, oh my gosh, 400 yards for 100 grams. And it's really, really soft and squishy. I love this base. It's got this sort of dusky brown and green and orange all speckled together. This is going to make probably some very pretty socks, or I've been considering doing a sock head hat with this. I realized that this has green, and both of the knit hats that I have at the moment are dark green. So maybe, I don't know, this counts as branching out from dark green, right? It's got other colors. You know, could be worse. Could be black, like most of my wardrobe. I also got a braid of fiber from Kristen. The tag kind of popped off, but here's the tag. This is the Rainbows with Feelings colorway on Falkland. This particular braid is 3.8 ounces, and I believe this was dyed by Mr. Panda. And it's this dark rainbow, which, you know, is right up my alley. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet. It is currently just decorating my stash and sort of waiting for it to tell me what it wants to be when it grows up. I have some more fiber. I don't have a problem. I kind of cleared out my stash with Tour de Fleece, so I needed to replace things, right? Right. I have 2 braids from Spinner's Candy, which is Deirdre. This is Targhee, 4 ounces in the July Wool and Fiber Arts Facebook group dye-along colorway, which is these gorgeous, gorgeous purples down to something that's almost black. It's not quite black, but it's very close. I never tried Targhee before, and so I wanted to get this and give it a try. The dye-along inspiration photo was a bowl of blueberries, and I think this definitely qualifies as blueberry. So that's going to be a lot of fun to spin up. And I also got this braid of Targhee, Bamboo, and Silk. This is the Miss Sage colorway, again from Spinner's Candy. And it's these very dark greens and some gold. Yeah. And I love how the bamboo gives that these little hints of white, because it doesn't take up acid dyes in the way that, because it's I believe it's a cellulose-based fiber, so it doesn't take up acid dyes the way that protein fibers do. Right. Is that everything that I've got? Yes. And I'm sure that next time I see you all, I'll have more, because between now and then there's another WAFA sale. We'll talk more about that near the end. Almost at the end. Next, we've got some shop update news. Again, if that's not your jam, I completely understand. I will once again put timestamps somewhere. The biggest shop update news that I have is my Halloween mystery boxes are live on Etsy. I've had so much fun working with artists and curating all of the goodies that are going in these boxes. There are 12 slots for yarn boxes and 12 for fiber. The yarn is going to be 100 grams gain of my 75-25 superwash merino nylon sock base. And the fiber, you get a choice of either 4 ounces of merino or 4 ounces of BFL. You also get stitch markers, a notion bag, custom designed stickers, and a bunch of other stuff. You also get tea. Yeah, so those, I'm hoping to have pre-orders done by mid-September, maybe late September, and those will ship out October 5th is the plan. I also had a smallish shop update a few days ago, and I will show you guys what all went into there. We've got 3 different new colorways on sock yarn. This is Toffee. It's probably my favorite. It's got warm browns and like pumpkin orange and some different sort of gold colors and some cream. So that's Toffee, and there's 4 of those available in the shop. And then there is Smoke and Bones, which is this gray yarn with splashes of red and some black speckles. It's very spooky and moody, and I'm a big fan of that. And there are also 4 of these available. The next one, I was trying out some different dye techniques and layering, and so there's only 2 of these available, but this is Autumn Fire. It's got, again, some golds and some more taupe colors, and red, and a lot of those black speckles in places. I really like this. This is more like a muted, very cozy color. There's 2 of those. And all of these are on the 75-25 sock base. Then I have some fiber. This has become one of my favorite blends to dye. This is my Gray Shetland and Tessa Silk blend. I have 2 of these. These are only 3-ounce braids, but this is Berry Blast. This is berry red and blue, and you can see how the silk and the Shetland take the color differently. So there's 2 of those in the shop. And brand new, very much autumnal colorway, because it's only August, but in my brain it's already Halloween. To be fair, that's fairly true year-round. This is Pumpkin Spice Witch. It's pumpkin orange and little bits of green. Can't really see that on camera, and some browns. Oh, there's a bit of green. But yeah, I have 2 of these on Rambouillet. And last but not least, for what is currently new in the shop, I listed the last of the Cotswold curls. These are in the colorway Underwater, and it's a sort of dusky, almost grayed blue with little pops of purple. I only have 1 ounce of these left. I need to get another of those colored Cotswold fleeces. Alright, I think that's everything that's brand new in the shop. The next shop update I'm aiming for Friday, August 21st, which is, yeah, that's this Friday. So, not sure what I'll have up in the shop yet. There's probably going to be some BFL, more Rambouillet, believe I have some Polworth, and more sock yarn. In pattern design news, I have my first knitted sock pattern coming up. I currently have a call out for test knitters on Instagram, so if you like this pattern and would like to test knit it for me, let me know. These are the Arvaker socks. Again, I'm not 100% on pronunciation because it's Norse and I'm from Alabama. I try my best, I promise. But it's got this really cool detail at the toe and the cuff. And the pattern on here, let me move it around so that you can actually see. Here it is. It's just a knit and purl texture and a central cable, which is really, really nice. I'm about to cast on the second one of these once I have those eyelet socks off the needles. I would call this probably a confident beginner to intermediate level pattern. Some experience with sock knitting and pattern chart reading is preferable as far as test knitters go. I still need 3 more test knitters, so if you would like to either test knit the medium, which is a women's 6 to 8, or the large, which is the 9 to 11, let me know either on Instagram, here on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever. I may also put my business email down in the description for folks that aren't as active on social media. Get another sip of my tea. Okie doke. Next, I want to talk to you guys about the Woolen Fiber Arts Facebook group. We're also on Instagram and we have a website, but our monthly sale weekends are hosted on Facebook using their live videos. Besides the sale weekends, we also have demonstrations, spotlights, giveaways, We have folks that own mills or farms come on and give us a tour. We also host dialogues, which are a lot of fun. That's what side am I on? Ooh. That's what this is. It's for a dialogue, and also that right there. And of course my my purple from last month. Each sale weekend is 3 days long, unless we're doing a special event, and that is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have 90 vendors, each come on for 30 minutes each, and showcase their wares and talk to us about their products and their colorways and their process and all kinds of really cool stuff. Most people do sales in the comments, but some folks direct you to their website. So whichever way that you prefer to shop. Our next sale is August 28th through the 30th. I will be going on Friday the 28th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern or 3:30 p.m. Central Time. This month's theme, we are having a yarn crawl, which has been so much fun working on and seeing people do graphics and design stickers. I'm part of the marketing team, and yeah, seeing the behind the scenes of how all of this stuff works is just, there's so much work that goes into it, and we have such an amazing, amazing team together. So the yarn crawl is themed after sort of a road trip. We are calling it Road Rules, which is hard for me to say, but we have a map, and you have stickers to kind of fill in your map, and we'll have a scavenger hunt, and I believe we're also doing a giveaway for different categories for that. So yeah, join the group, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and check out our website. We have a lot of really, really cool events coming up and things that we're working on. So I hope you will join us for that. I think I'll just do a little short life, chatter. It's not really an update, since this is probably your first time getting to know me. I have a fairly sizable, for the amount of backyard that we have, vegetable garden. And right now our beans are producing. I'm growing both dragon tongue bush beans and Cantari or Canter bush beans. The dragon tongues are producing, the Canters not so much. So we'll see if they catch up later in the season. We have a watermelon. It's about the size of a softball at the moment. That's the Sugar Baby watermelon, so it's not going to get too huge, but it's already toppled over one trellis. So yeah, I need to find a better way of getting stakes in the ground and propping that up. The cucumbers are blooming like crazy. No cucumbers yet, but hopefully soon. The radishes that I planted, I guess, a couple months ago, not thinking that they would make radishes in this heat. It's really hot. They tend to just get leggy and go to seed. And I was really just growing them for the radish greens because they're a nice addition to salads. They have a milder radish flavor than the actual radish root. But yeah, they've started actually making radishes, which is really, really cool. I had one yesterday with breakfast, and it tasted like a radish, and it looked like a radish, but better because I grew it. I didn't think I liked radishes really, but the ones I've had before were really, really strong and spicy. This one had a bit of a kick to it, but not near as bold and sort of astringent. I had to stake up one of my corn plants. I have, I believe, 5 corn plants, and one of them I think got caught on one of the tomato cages and kind of bent over. So it's staked up now, and hopefully will not suffer any ill effects from having to rely on that stake. Our strawberries, which I transplanted from smaller pots into a nice big 10-gallon grow bag, are now having a second flush, and I hope that I get to eat those instead of just sacrifice them to the birds and squirrels, which is what happened last time. I got one. It was this big. I was very disappointed. I think that's all for garden news. I had to take out both of my yellow squash plants because they got attacked by pickle worms. But I now have an organic worm spray that I'm using on the rest of that sort of family of plants that are attacked by pickle worms. I've got 2 zucchini plants which are not doing real great for separate reasons. And my watermelon and my cucumbers, which are all within the pickle worms sites. These little green worms. I'm like, no, you're not going to eat my entire garden. In Dungeons & Dragons news, I started a new campaign. This is campaign number 3 that I'm in at the moment. I am playing Trout, who is an ursine, which is basically a bear person. He's an 8-foot tall bear. just making new friends. He just wants to make new friends. I actually got him this cute little teeny tiny bag to use as a dice bag, specifically for that character. This is another one from Bags by KC. I haven't picked out some dice for him yet, but it's also got bees on the inside. But it was too cute and too bear appropriate for me to say no to. I think the best part of the campaign so far is we're all in prison. We're falsely accused of some crimes, and our first objective, our first big objective, is to figure out why and to hopefully clear our names. And yeah, we started a prison yard dance party with an Aarakocra, which is a bird person, a bear, and there's also a tiefling, which is a part demon person. Our tiefling friend is a gothic Lolita tiefling, and she's very, very cute. We've also got a halfling, and all of the prison guards are warforged, which are kind of sort of robots, but not really. It's an interesting time so far. D&D, especially when you're heavily homebrewing things, when you're heavily making your own world, and especially the DM that we have for this one, they are very much into the collaborative part of the storytelling. They want us to make decisions that affect the world at large, and also the course of the campaign, which is really, really awesome to be a part of. This is a text-based campaign, which is new for me. I didn't have enough mental and emotional energy for another voice-based, we use Discord for another voice call-based campaign. Because, again, I'm in 2 already, and sometimes I need to not have to talk. And then, of course, I come on and I start a podcast, and I've been talking for 45 minutes already. So, yeah. But I thank you for joining me for this inaugural episode. And thank you for putting up with my rambling, if you're still here. And I will see you, hopefully, week after next. Bye.